Now that we have a basic understanding of percents and how to work with them in basic equations looking for certain keywords, let's put some context around it. This first problem says your restaurant bill is $24, but you want to leave a tip of 20%. How much will you pay in all or total? Well, hopefully we all understand that a tip is a percentage of the bill. So when it says a 20% tip, that means 20% of whatever the cost of my bill was. We talked about before that of means we're going to multiply. So we're going to take that 20%, turn it into decimal notation, 0.20, because it's always move the decimal two places, times the $24 bill and get $4.80. But then I know that my total is going to be the bill plus the tip, so we're going to spend a whopping $28.80. This is not the only way that you could do the problem. I do understand some of you are really good with percents, and you would have said, well, 20% tip means I'm paying 120%. You would have done one calculation and been done. That's perfectly okay. I'm not going to require that you do it a specific way, just a legitimate way. All right, so let's take a look at another problem. It's a little bit different. The new tablet you would like sells for $330. If you wait until the tax-free weekend to purchase it, how much will you save yourself? So if you live in Missouri, you're probably familiar with that August tax-free event where we don't have to pay taxes on computers and clothing and everything like that because we're getting everybody ready to go back to school. We're trying to give Missouri families a break. Okay, so we're going to assume a 7.8% tax rate. Just like tips, a tax is a percent of that cost. So in this particular case, we are going to take 0.078. Why is it 0.078? Because we're moving the decimal point two places. Well, you move it to the in front of the 7 and we don't have any more numbers, so we're going to put a 0 in its place. So 0.078 times our $330 purchase price, we are going to save ourselves $25.74. You know, that's a pretty decent thing. If we look at our last problem, that might have been enough to take us out to dinner. All right, here's another problem. I recently got this from a credit card company. It says, hey, why don't you sign up for our special card? Because with the everyday card, you get 3% back on groceries, but with our preferred card, you will get 6% back on groceries. I'm all for getting some bonuses and perks, so let's see if this is really a good idea for me. Why would I be questioning it? Because there is an annual fee. So they say it's worth it. I want to verify that that $95 annual fee is really worth it to me. All right, so let's look at what we know. We know our everyday card, zero cost. Our preferred card is $95 cost. I know that I get a 3% bonus for the everyday card versus a 6% bonus. So 6% of what I'm spending on the preferred card. All right, so how much would we have to spend on groceries every year, annually, to make this preferred card worth that $95 cost? Well, let's see. If I say that X is the amount I spent, I want to know when is 3% of that total cost less than the 6% of the total cost minus that $95. Because the 3% times X is how much I'm getting cash back with my everyday card. The 6% X is how much I would get with the preferred card. But remember, we had to pay $95 for it. So I'm going to subtract the 95. Then using what we know about algebra, we will combine like terms, and then we will divide. Oh, keep in mind here, when you divide by a negative, that inequality symbol flips. So it says you would have to spend more than $3,166.67 annually to make this worth it. Well, I think more in terms of weeks when I go shopping. So I said, well, what is that divided by 52? And that'd be $61 a week. So I have to make that determination. Do I spend that much every week? Maybe this preferred card would be worth it. right? Just a practical example that percentages and problem solving can help you in your everyday life. Let me know if you have any questions.